Hey everybody, let's check the audio. I'm Yvonne with Back to Earth Creations and welcome to our craft room. We are making some polymer clay fairy houses today. Well, just the one, maybe two, I don't know. But yesterday in the live stream, we had gotten this bad boy sculpted and I'm so pleased with how he's looking. We're going to need to make the little gilly belly, but we're going to need to carve that out so that we can fit the end of the bottle. I'm going to try to sink it a couple inches. We'll see what we can do. Oops. Hey, Cat and Cauldron, how are you doing today? So Randy, yesterday he conditioned my glow-in-the-dark clay for me, so I'm going to go ahead and start getting that smushed out. Oh, thank you, baby. And now we've got our YouTube comments up. Hey, Laura, how are you doing today? Good morning. Let me make sure it is on all messages instead of just top messages. So there we go. We're streaming a little bit earlier in the day today than what we typically do because we might have some plans this evening that I wanted to leave myself open for. And I'm just testing out different times for what works for us with what we're doing. So we're just squishing this out. How are you doing, Cat and Cauldron? Hey, Bodega. Good morning to you. My coffee's still kicking in. Oh gosh, we had such nice storms this morning. Nice because we lived through them, so that's always good. So I'm just rolling this out. I bet I can get to where we're relatively in frame. And I'm just passing this conditioned clay through the thickest setting on my pasta machine. And I think that'll be all right. I'm just going to stack those off to the side. These are all equally sized, so I'm just going to scooch those over there. And we're going to start carving out the neck hole for our thingy. Let's see. If I were a craft knife, where would I be? I have 2 needle tools? Oh, that's cool. I can use these like little chopsticks and pick stuff up. Ooh, super. That's nice. Okay. Hey, Michelle. Oh, it is afternoon, isn't it? Time's a construct. I've lost my dang old. Where is it? Here, this will work. Dude, I feel that shows giant mug of black coffee. Cheers, everybody. Clink, clink. Thank you for joining me here today. I don't know why, because y'all wouldn't be able to smell my breath, but I was like hurrying to brush my teeth before today's stream. So that goes perfect with the toothpaste taste. Laura says, you have such cool toys. I love them. Baby, this is terrible. I can feel it in my teeth when I cut the aluminum foil. Okay. We are resilient and we are good at doing difficult things. Oh, I hate it. Yeah? I want to do it. Oh, a bottle cap. Right on. Well, I'm cutting it in the right spot. I was going to core it out a whole bunch, do the gills, and then put polymer clay on and bake it. And then I was going to just fill in the gaps with hot glue. So I'm being... Okay, it's getting easier. Oh, this is terrible. I hate... Okay. Nope, still morning here. Nice. Good afternoon, Kay. How are you doing? Anime St. Louis was fantastic, you guys. Oh my gosh. I'm still pretty whooped, but that's okay. Let's see. Can I whoop, I don't want to break the knife. So let's see. Do I have some pliers that I can start just ripping stuff out with? I have scissors and those are almost pliers. The claw. Just twisting it out. Anime St. Louis was everything that we needed it to be, and it was phenomenal. We got to see so many old friends and make a bunch of new ones, and it was awesome. Okay, let's see if we can carve Because ideally, I don't know if it would have been ideally actually, but because I appreciated this aluminum foil being here to provide the structure to sculpt the clay over. But now that I don't need it, I'm thinking, well, maybe I could have just shaped it around the bottle initially. I'll try it that way next time. Ooh, Jean says 28 weeks, no SIGs. Oh, congratulations. That's awesome. Breathing in vertical, that's a start. Hey, Janice, how are you doing today? So, oh yeah, that's way better. Way better than it just sitting on the tippy top. Let's see if we can cram that down in there a little more. Perfection. Let's clean up our workstation. Whomp, whomp. Okay, I'm making a little fairy house. We had made one of these mushrooms out of like some scrap clay not too long ago. And so I wanted to make like a fairy house and like a little baby fairy house next to it, which I meant to check my little jars upstairs. I think I've got one that'll be perfect that I hoarded from like a hotel. It's like almost this size, but a little bigger. And it's like a hotel honey jar that I think would look really cute made into a little fairy house. Or something just about, you know, like this size would look really cute. So we're going to play it by ear and figure it out. Of course, wish it was afternoon, then it'd be close to being off work. Right? Well, I hope you're having a good day at work. Bottle now has whimsical wizard hat. This is spiffy. I love it. Well, because I'm hoping that what we can pull off is to do one of those like little battery LEDs or some sort of something that we can have secured to the inside and just feed down in it so that the lid can screw on and off, and then it can have like some lights in it. I don't know if that's going to be achievable on this one. We might need something like a jar that has a wider tip, but regardless, this is a pretty good start. So I guess now now that we have that shaped, we can go ahead and just start putting on the PolymerClay. That way we can make the gills. Hey Randy, could I ask you to help me with something? Could you preheat the oven to 275 for me? I meant to do that and forgot. I'm going to feed these 2 sheets through my pasta machine to make them just a little larger. Randy is the best wizard's apprentice for like 20 years now. I've smoked over 52 years and it's been the longest I've ever lasted and have to stay quick because I have severe COPD. Right on. Hey Ernest, good morning to you. How are you doing? Laura says, you know you've recovered when you stop counting. Wow, that's a good way of looking at it. When it's your new normal. Going good, your live stream is helping. Oh, I'm glad, Saki girl. So I'm going to be honest with you, Ernest. I'm so sorry. I've not checked my email since yesterday. It's just been, it's been a little nuts. And that's not an excuse, but all I've done since I saw y'all last was eat pizza and sleep. So we were supposed to cook dinner and everything too. We got the van unloaded. And no concrete. Yeah, if I sound a little, it's because I talked a whole lot all weekend and then yesterday and then today I'm still waking up. This is why I usually don't stream until 3. It's because I'm barely human again yet. I think it's going to take a second cup of coffee to get me to where I'm going. All right, so we had some weather this morning. I don't know if you can see just all that rain pouring down, and there was thunder and lightning. It was just there's something else to wake up to. But we slept good last night, deep sleep whenever the rain comes in. There we go, got that pulled back up. Right on. Well, the thing is we're never too busy for our clients. I'm just also like a little incompetent. So I'm trying my best though, but we're hoping that being gone for 2 weeks, we're kind of trying to fit in everything so things will settle into their groove again. Might say in his own way, Randy is quite familiar with artificing practices. Oh yes, very much. Okay. So you see how that's like going? It just down into the void. So now I'm actually just going to kind of tear the clay because I actually kind of love the way that that's giving a texture on the edges. Do you see how that's kind of, don't gotta be perfect, don't gotta be crispy, don't gotta be nothing. Now that's pretty cool, but I don't know if I'm going to use it on this application. I don't know, we may. Let's see. Yeah, no, I'm going to fold these torn edges in now. Just kind of rolling them in a bit. And that's going to give us a nice little like poochy downy edge. Hey little sprite, how's it going? Galileo, Galileo, Figaro, Figaro. Oh yeah, thank you, honey. Am I gonna? What? You have a separate over your polymer? Oh, oven? No, I just use my regular oven for cooking my PolymerClay. I always make sure to preheat it. I'm not super, like, I eat Burger King. I'm not super worried about the toxins that the PolymerClay might be putting in my oven. In a perfect world, I would have a separate one, though, but they don't make toaster ovens large enough to fit the sculptures I want to make into. So we make sure that it's preheated, and I try to not burn my PolymerClay if I can help it, because then I'm like, this is probably bad for me. But other than that, we just bake it in there. So just shaping this around. And we're testing out. I'd like to be able to keep streaming on Tuesdays like this moving forward, but we're just testing and seeing what works for us, what works for the folks who like watching what we do. Oh, very nice. Loving how that's coming around now. And from here, and I love that I can bake this clay in stages, because now I can hold and press and I'm not having to worry about distorting. It won't even take, I mean, I bet if I pressed real hard I could do a thumbnail print, but there's no need in that. And so now I'm just going to start blending this line with my ball stylus. Let's get this. Make it clean. I gotta tidy it up a little. How are you doing, Cat and Cauldron? My sister-in-law bakes it in her oven too. Right on. You know, and that's a person's prerogative. If it's important to you, by all means use a separate toaster oven, you know. But there we go. I like that. And I'm just gonna drape that there. So now we're gonna keep, I love the lighting today too. It's perfect lighting for this. And I love just blending out that line. Blend, blend, blend. And this is giving us a really nice base for our little gills and stuff too. The little underbelly of the mushroom. Hey, Dark Cat, how are you doing today? Thunder and lightning, very, very, yeah, okay. So I was wondering where it came from. Like, I thought we were just all singing Queen out of nowhere. That makes more sense now. So we haven't moved forward on calling any real estate agents or anything like that today. We are waiting. Like, the hardest part about all of this for me so far is just being patient. I'm not particularly great at being patient, just sitting around waiting. I mean, I'll do it, but it's not my favorite. And so, but we must be patient because we don't know what dates we're going to be in Tennessee yet. And so I didn't know, I didn't want to call the real estate agent until I had that information. And that way, hopefully we can plan a visit to go see the school. And I'm compiling a list of different questions that I'm going to have for the real estate agent, like where the septic tank is and different stuff like that. Ooh, the oven's preheated, almost just in time too. That's perfect. Yeah, you can see it like beads up a little, like little crumbly bits. So you can either just like rub those off or pat them in. Waste not, want not. We're getting some nice little edges going. And I love how this clay is going to glow for us. Good afternoon, Love and Loops. How are you doing? Ooh, Ernest says, whenever you get around to it, just let me know the price and everything and when it's okay to ship to you. I'll be replying to you later today after today's live stream, Ernest. Thank you so much for your patience. I switched over here from Kick from YouTube. Right on. Okay, so we've got, let's grab our bottle. And we're just doing a test fit. Pretty pleased with that. Looking good in the neighborhood. Oh, kind of squished it a little bit. That's all right. Okay, so now I'm going to do a little bit more texture. We went through with our 8mm ball stylus, so now I'm going to be going through with, I would be using, well, I can use my 6mm for it a little bit. Just dragging out towards the edge. So what are y'all working on today? What are you up to? So just building up a little bit more of that texture. I don't want any of the little weird bits coming off the ends. And if we get too many crumblies, I'm just going to wipe them onto our extra clay there. Now I'm going to move to a, well, it just jumps right from the 6 to the 3mm, doesn't it? I'm still suspicious that I have a third one of these somewhere, and I just don't know where it is. That okay. And so now I'm just going to add in little lines with our smaller ball stylus. Each line's going just a little deeper. And I'm trying to keep them relatively parallel to each other, but also I'm not worrying if they go off track at all. There's not a particular mushroom that I'm trying to replicate here. I'm just having fun. If I get a bunch of little cruddies, I'm just wiping them off on our excess clay. Hey, Tashers! Good morning. Loving on my cat. He said I had to. Well, yes. Working with you in the background. Noise. If you put a clay item in your kitchen oven, would it work? Yes. I always recommend to folks to preheat your oven first, because oftentimes to get my oven up to 275, and you can buy like a little thermometer and put it in your oven and like see if there's cool spots or hot spots or anything like that. But in my oven, it'll shoot the temperature up super high to get the whole thing to get to 275 as quickly as possible. So I do not put clay in to a cold oven and then have it go, because it burns it every time and it stinks it up and ruins the clay in the project. Whereas if I preheat it, then I put it in and I set a timer and kind of go from there, which I'm so glad I'd forgotten about this guy in the oven last night, and he didn't burn at all or anything, and he was in there for like an hour probably. So everything's okay. It all worked out. And so now I'm going to use this wee bitty, like that's like maybe a 2mm. And I'm just going to rotate around. And it's pulling off some clay for us. I'm going to just grab a little glob. It's almost like having a kneaded eraser that I can just hold on to, but instead of erasing with it, I just clean my tip. Oh, thank you, Marion. 275 Fahrenheit is 135 Celsius. And that varies clay to clay too, so you'll want to check the instructions on your from the manufacturer on your clay packet. Today I am using Clay, but for years I had used Sculpting Primo and was very satisfied. But I'm trying out the Clay because I want to see how it ages outside, because the Sculpting Primo held up pretty well, except for whenever I used Sculpey as the core, because that was pretty fragile. Like it liked to crumble on me and break and stuff, but it took a couple of years even then, and all this while it was still color fast, which made me very happy. So you can see we're starting to get a little bit more texture here. And so now I have some progressively finer tips. These two are the same size, but this one's quite small, so I'm going to use that one. And the next step after this one, I'll be using a needle tool. And I'm going to start focusing. I don't want to leave little crumbly bits. No crumbly bits. Make clean. Hey, Zen! Jay here. How cool. 2 days in a row. Received my cab order yesterday. Did expect until this week. Thanks for sending before heading to Anime St. Louis. Oh, yeah. We try to ship every Tuesday. We're not shipping today because tomorrow's the last day of the month, and so we'll be able to send out the rest of the April's packages and then get started in on May. If you just let the clay air dry, would it hold up like if you made a cup? Well, this is a polymer clay, so it's completely different than ceramics and things like that. And I don't know if there are products that are air dry clays, but I don't know if they're food safe. So that's something worth researching. Had a bad salad Sunday. Oh no, that made me miserable Sunday evening and all Monday. I had to work through it for a 3-hour shift. I feel much better today, but I'm kind of feeling cautious about eating anything since I have that MRI appointment later today. Oh wow, that's rough. And off of a salad, like those are supposed to be making you feel better, not worse, you know? Good morning, World is Strange. How are you doing today? So, this morning I was asking where you'd want your house on the 5 acres, because I got to show you guys. Let me pull it up. Because I've been, I was laying in bed, supposed to be going to sleep, and instead I was designing like this sculpture garden and different like water features, and those are going to be like a big dragon that like undulates, and I want it to be so big that you can walk under the humps of it undulating through the ground. And there's another one on this side, and it would just be all like a maze garden. And then this is going to be a giant wire tree, like large. I want it to be large enough that we can stand underneath it with like little bead and glass wisteria clusters of flower that I want to set like a solar light in on the end or something. We might be able to wire the whole tree up. That would be really cool. It's out of my skill set currently, but I like dreaming dreams, you guys. And but just a big ass or big old, pardon me and my potty mouth, wire tree. And this is the driveway. And then I was like, gotta design my garden in the chicken coop with the rabbits and the compost, and like we don't even eat rhubarb, but I want it for using the leaves in concrete sculptures and like stepping stones and stuff. So I'm like, I'm gonna have a whole bed of rhubarb. And then like the raspberries and blueberries, and we're gonna have dwarf fruit trees, because we did okay with the cherry trees here, but they did not do well through the drought. And then also like the -20 degrees really kind of did them in, but I must have been the drought more than that. Like I think the drought put them in a weakened state, and then they just were like, I'm not doing this whenever it got super cold. And then we had another drought for the next summer. So, and then I was looking at, because on these entryways, the stairs come out this way. And so like little ponds and stuff. And I was, I figured I'd ask, like, where are you at your house? Because I was like, before I put in a duck pond and like a big old waterfall, because this is going to be the mermaid pond. It's going to be amazing. And then there's like a gazebo for sitting. So yeah, I'm probably going to live in a minivan over in this corner. But that's what I was doing instead of answering my emails last night. But I'm not super married to all these ideas because I don't even know where the septic tank is either. So, will there be room for a house? Maybe. Like maybe underground. We could have an underground house and put a garden on top of it. Ass is in the Bible. It doesn't count as a bad word. I don't think they intended for my use of the word, but anyhow, I had a lot of fun with that. So trying to figure out how to be present, but also daydreaming at the same time. So going through with a real, no, this is the wrong size, isn't it? Yep. That okay. Just gonna scrape, and I'm gonna try to start putting a little bit of pressure behind it, but I don't know if I want to use the ball stylus for that, because do you see how it pulls up all these crumbly bits? Whenever that starts happening, I'm going to go ahead and transition over to using a needle tool, because it should, well, this one's got stuff all over it. This one's clean. This should not leave crumblies. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's nice. And so I'm going to start, and I'm dragging a little forcefully, or not very forcefully, just more so than what I was with the ball stylus. And I'm trying to drag straight down and through. But I want to stay rotating, because it's like I want these lines to be consistently radiating from the center. I'm not achieving it perfectly, not by a long shot, but by striving in that direction, it helps me land in the ish zone of, it's radiant-ish. do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Urban derp. Cha, cha, cha. But then I get a little settled in my grooves, and that's okay too. I don't know if it needs to be this way, but I'm having fun. And I think that's probably my favorite thing about sculpting, is it's fun. Ooh, a Hobbit house. If those plans go through, that's going to be a heck ton of reno and demo and landscaping work. That's been our dream. Like, that's what we've wanted to do, I think, ever since we met each other, was we wanted to build a home together with our sweat and blood and tears and hands and hearts. And so much blood, says Randy. But and we do anticipate hopefully being able to employ some gardeners and landscapers to help with the maintenance and stuff, and to just make it's not going to be just Randy and I. We're hoping to make our whole life out of it, because it's my theory is that I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing, but if I need to be standing more, then I'm not going to be like, I'm going to have designated, where I do this after I finish my work. It's like, no, I need to figure out how to, so I got a standing desk. So now I haven't changed my behavior. I just changed how I do my behavior, if that makes sense. So I'm still doing the things that I need to be doing. So my hope is that, is like, well, what would my dream retirement look like? And that would be just getting to work in my garden. It's my favorite thing, getting to sculpt, getting to connect with other artists and people and stuff. And so it's like, okay, well, I'm probably never going to be able to stop working. So I should make my work be what my dream retirement would be, because it'll keep me active. It'll keep me doing the things I love. And I get to share it with folks who are into it. So that's pretty cool. All right. So now we're going to use a knife and I'm going to cut. That doesn't do what I wanted it to. Never mind. Ah, porcupine quill. I wanted some nice deep. Because part of it with being, I don't know. We'll see. All the blood, sweat, and tears. But we're made for working anyways, so may as well. Nothing makes me so happy as hard work that I'm passionate about. And we're estimating it'll take, probably a decade and a half to get all of these things implemented and put into, but that's pretty cool. Okay, so now that we got those little segments, I missed a spot, so I'm going to do a few more. And now I'm going to start subdividing them. And I think this may be where I implement. No, I'm still super digging it with the porcupine quill. Okay. Hey, Kathleen, how's it going? Okay. Do I want to do that on the whole edge, though? Let's see. Yes. No, I don't. Yes. Okay. Good talk. Because I love the idea of the sculpture garden. Because right now, so much of what we make is one of the first things I think about whenever I'm making something for like DragonCon is how am I going to display it in the booth? How am I going to get it to the booth? Like those things, those thoughts are almost simultaneous. And so if we had an avenue for being able to, I can make it as big as the freaking yard. Like, like, I don't know, like there's suddenly a whole lot of, fences just got blown through because now we can, begin with the end in mind. We'd have double doors large enough that we could, get large sculptures out of the compound and into the garden, Aw. Oh, well, Tatum, thank you so much. I did minimal effort today. I'm not gonna lie. Like I need a shower and everything. I'm just wearing house clothes, but thank you. do, 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 do. Oh, this is a bunch, but the magic happens in the details, so don't skimp now. So I'm not doing a ton of careful details up by where it's going to be hidden with the bottle inside of it. I'm focusing the details on where it's going to be visible. And I love that sort of ragged edge. We're recreating what we had initially done by tearing the clay off. Okay, and then oof, we're going to go like that. And then we're going to go like this. And then we're going to go like that. Oh. And if it drags a little too far up, I'm just using my fingernail to Whoop, take that off of there. I can't wait to show this to you guys with it glowing. Like, I'm going to take you into the oven with me whenever we go in there, and so you can see how it glows. We're only climbing in the oven for a little bit. Do what? Oh, just a little in the oven. And then we're going to come up and plomp, and then plomp, and then plomp, and then plomp. Like, I was thinking about trying to participate in the game of shrooms this year, where you, like, it's like hide and seek, but for mushroom themed artwork. So, like, give it a Google if you're interested. It's called Game of Shrooms. They have like an Instagram page is where I follow them, but I'm sure they've got, other stuff. But it's something I've been following for a few years, and I really want to go and just like hide some artwork. It's like geocaching a little too, but in its own way. So I'm just kind of splitting those apart. Whenever it gets a little too bulgy or weird, we just bump it into our scrap clay. Oh, I love that. Ah, oh. And this sculpture I'm designing to be an out-of-doors sculpture. So I'm hoping it'll give nice little nooks and crannies for the moss to take hold. Oh, no, thank you, baby. Thank you, though. If you lick all the pepper off of it, I might eat it.
That's gross.
You're gross. I love you. You're not gross at all. I'm the nasty one. Who's gonna match my freak? Randy does. I mean, he won't eat stuff out of the driveway with me, but if he catches me eating like pecans out of the driveway, still in their shell, he doesn't stop me. He knows better. He knows that's how you get bit. Michelle says, I had to give Journey a shower today. She smelled like hot garbage. Ooh-wee, what was the occasion? Does Journey care for showers? Because he does not like bath time. Like, not in the slightest. Hey, Vaughn, question. What's your favorite interaction at Anime St. Louis this year? Ooh, okay. I don't have one, so I'm just going to start saying them. It was beautiful driving there. First off, like the wisteria and everything, like we got to pass like a whole grove of it. And it just springing, y'all. So nothing's even like tired from summer yet. Like the green of spring untouched by genuine heat is just beautiful. I mean, summer's beautiful too, but everything is so rare and precious in its season that, and I love getting to go on long car rides because Randy does all the driving. So I'm just a passenger princess. And it's almost like going on a train ride because I get to just watch all the scenery go by. Is one of my dreams. Maybe for like our 50-year anniversary or something, we'll have been able to save up and make time for it. But I'd love to take Randy on a train ride so that we can watch the trees and stuff go by together. Because he's always like so busy paying attention to the road and stuff, which is perfectly reasonable. But if he licks it, it's his. Yeah, but we're married, so it's like half mine. So anything that he licks is half mine, right? Like, so she does good. She doesn't whine until the end. Gotcha. And then it's just the familiarity of rolling into a city that we recognize. St. Louis is beautiful. The St. Charles area is gorgeous. We ate calzones. We actually ended up eating calzones twice, but we ate at Sauce on the Side, which is, I think, just delicious. And I'm not even particularly fond of calzones or anything. We got checked into the hotel room perfectly smoothly. Like, gosh, it's just so nice when it's like pleasantly uneventful, like just as chill. We're listening to the Dresden Files. We've started really listening to those. And then we got the booth almost set up all the way. Oh, we thought we had left the little, we use these we use these style racks. We use one of these in the booth for hanging all of our garments on, and we thought we had left the little connector things in the corner. We thought we had left them at home, but we didn't, and that was real nice. And so we found them and everything was okay. And then we were like, banana bread at work, and made best friends with our neighbor. So that was good. And then Maddie and Amy showed up and everything went smooth for them arriving, and that was nice. And then we kept setting up on Friday because the dealer's room didn't open until 3. And just getting to see, like, a lot of these vendors I see more often than some of my family, like, especially back when we were on the circuit and traveling so much. And, oh, hey, Itzy, how's it going? And just getting stuff set up and seeing jewelry I haven't seen in 6 months, because a lot of our pendants just live on the pendant display and then we put it into the bin and it just stays there until we vend again. Because we keep our vending and website inventory separate typically, just so that we're not having to. It'd make more sense if we vended more often, but we're ready. We start with the end in mind, and we know we want to be vending more frequently, so we're trying to build up separate inventories that are pretty equivalent. But it's like, if I make, moving forward, especially, I think you guys that we're finally recovered from liquidating all of our inventory during the pandemic, which I'm glad that we did, because it did what we needed it to do. But man, we had been building up inventory for like 12 years at that point. So there was a lot of stuff to remake. And then we kept having the best shows we've ever had once we started doing shows again. So we kept selling all of it. So it was really a scramble trying to get up that hill of remaking all of our inventory. But now, these next 4 months, I think, are going to be significantly more chill as far as production goes than the previous 4 months were, between, Christmas and April, prepping for Anime St. Louis. So it's just, that was really nice to get a tangible, like, measurable, eyes on it idea of how much inventory we have, because now I feel free to make art projects, which is delightful. And so I don't dare let myself be under the illusion that I can take time off or anything, but just knowing that I'm not going to have to work as desperately hard, at least not on the same things. Like, Randy does need to restock chainmail bracelets, but I think he's earned a day off. So he didn't have pliers in his hands today, but I know he'll get back to it before too long. I think we got to order rings, actually, before you can get to work. You're going to have a couple of days off, baby. What are you going to do with yourself? Maybe play a video game or have some, like, relax? Maybe, he says. But we got to see, and then such a blur after that. We got to see so many of our old friends. We got to see the Hacky Sack boys. We got to see, which I'm so bad at names. I'm sorry to everybody at how bad at names I am. I will recognize your face for the rest of my life, but I cannot remember names. Like, I write them in my diary and everything. Do what, honey? It will haunt me. No, it's I recognize them. And it's like, their names are Sarah and Brad. For some reason, I was like, is it Jeremy and Ashley? Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And then we started with, yeah, I don't know. It's okay, but we're very lucky that our friends are very patient with us, because they didn't know our names either. So now that's perfect. It's like, it makes me so proud, the way that Maddie and Amy help us in the booth. Like, I got to say, because Maddie helps us make stuff, and so I get to say to customers when they come up, I get to say, everything here is handmade by myself and my family. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And them being in my life is such a gift that I get to say that. So that was probably my favorite part of Anime St. Louis, was getting to do it, like, do the whole thing without any hitches, without any complications or car accidents, or Randy's back's doing all right. So that's good. Like, that was awesome. Like, what a harvest to have brought in together. And it's just a rare and beautiful treat when your family is your friends and your friends are your family as well. Like, and that was awesome. And especially with Maddie going off to college this summer, like, oh, there's a choo-choo train. Like it's going up the road? I don't know. Oh, what's happening? I hear a train, Richard. There must be a train. I mean, there is a train. I've got eyes on it. But it's on the tracks like regular. I just don't know what that other big noise is, you know? Oh, I gotta water this plant. But it sounds like a semi is trying to go over Wee Hill and they're stuck. Alright, sorry, y'all. We gotta be nosy at the neighbors because we heard a weird noise. I also bark at the mailman, but you know. And then, oh, we got to see Taylor. She does the cutest cosplays, and she has like a new fursuit that is just gorgeous and adorable. And then, oh, I got to see my friend Micah, and he was dressed up in a Pokemon suit, but not like it was a like tailored suit made out of fabric that had a whole, I'm not gonna say all of them. I don't think it was all of the Pokemon, but it had just a whole mess of them. Like a bunch. There was at least a Charizard. Like I recognized the Charizard, but he was wearing his Pokemon suit and like a light up robot head, and that was interesting. He like it just and getting to see and meet like so many new people and getting to geek out about like because like already automatically when people come up to the booth and if they like the jewelry or if they like the costume or if they have questions, we already like immediate we're like best friends. Like we're getting to me like that's my brain is like doing happy chemicals like yeah. And so that was just really great getting to people all weekend. And then another one of my favorite things from Anime St. Louis was on Saturday, so Friday, we made Santa Fe beef in the crock pot. Super yummy, but I defo need to do, because I'm going to be doing that recipe again for Dragon Con, I'm going to do 3 roasts. Last year I did 2, and there just wasn't enough. It's good. I want seconds. So I'm going to do 3 roasts, and I got to test that and make sure I can fit it in my crock pot. And then it could have benefited from having something green with it, like either like green beans or like some salad would be really nice. Like just some salad. Not one that makes you sick though. Oh my gosh. I'm speaking purely in terms of the upcoming dragon. And we should have like a stove and like a pot that we can do the beans in. We'll have just a little bit of bacon grease left over from breakfast. So that'll be good. Tracy makes such good beans. I feel like a bumbling child when I cook green beans now because I'm like, I know these could be done better, but I'm too lazy. I just simmer them in like their own juices straight out of the can. I will and have eaten green beans, just crack open the can and like drink the bean water and like eat the beans. I do. I wasn't raised right. I've been told by people who I love. Like, but and I don't disagree because in comparison, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I shouldn't do that. I should dump it into a bowl and microwave it first. You're silly. You're silly. But not one that makes you sick. Dude, that's dapper sounding. Get up. What? And then, right? Oh, yeah, he was dapper AF. And he's a bit of a string being. Like, he's a very slim fellow, like wiry, but very tall and like well proportioned. Like, he could do modeling for sure. And so just wearing this like absolute cut suit, he looked like he was out of an anime or something because of his like robot head with the light up eyes. Did I tell you we finally had to replace our travel slow cooker? What happened? Did the lid break? I live in fear of my lid breaking, honestly. Fry bacon, thin slice onion, add green beans and onion to bacon grease. That's how my friend Pam does it, and it's delicious. Can't be bothered. Like, I'll do it if I'm cooking for other people, but if it's just for me and Randy doesn't eat. Well, it's probably because I cook them the way I do. Now that I think of, if I cooked them good, would you eat them? Like, he just blinked at me all sweet.
What?
Well, you just,
Yeah,
yeah.
of course.
I think he gets tired of them because I'll eat green beans every day, straight out the can, like a stray cat. Dragging our luggage and stuff fell off the cart and broke the ceramic. Oh no. Well, did you replace it? Like, were you able to find the same kind, or? Everybody, tell me about your crock pots. If I were a billionaire, I would probably take a private jet everywhere. But for some reason in my head, even if I were a billionaire, I'd still have Randy drive me around in our minivan. But I would bring an air fryer with me, like my Ninja. That's like a pressure cooker too. I'd bring that instead of a crock pot. Yeah, there's no amount of money on this planet that can fix that I was raised in the woods. Like, we'd have straight to Walmart new and it's actually deeper. Nice! What's the country song? You can take the girl out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the girl. I'm like, bet. Oh, Is it just me, or are canned green beans just something else? Like, they just taste better somehow. They're a different beast. I like frozen and I like fresh. I've never met a green bean that I didn't like. And I still think about Dee Dee's 3-bean salad. I'd never had green beans and like beans together before, and that was game changing. Eating green beans right now. Nice, Angie K. Straight out the can, or did you cook them? But yeah, they're completely different from like frozen and fresh. I eat them raw just out of the garden too. Just rub the bugs off and eat them while they're fuzzy. Do you know that green beans are fuzzy? At least mine are. Whenever they're off the plant. What? You've I can't say that, but here I go. You've eaten my fuzzy beans. You're going, mm-hmm. Your point? Well, they're good. It's like are all y'all's cucumbers prickly when they grow? Because like they aren't at the store. And then I grew some and I was like, I thought there was something wrong with them. And it just proved that I should have touched grass more as a kid, I guess. But I didn't know that cucumbers came prickly. Like, I thought that they were just like at the store. So I thought I had done something wrong. And this is why I think having a garden, like a botanical garden for like outreach and to educate people so that they can see that rice doesn't grow on trees and that, you know.
What?
Randy goes, what? No, just the bags of it. You just picked the bag of the jasmine rice directly off of the tree. Yeah. I think stuff like that is important. Okay. So let's see. I'm about to make a very poor decision. We'll use this dirty paintbrush as like a broom to try to brush the crumbles. Okay, well, this hasn't gone as disastrously as I was afraid it would. I'm going to go the other way, actually. I just want to get the crumblies kind of either rubbed off or burnished in. I don't know what I'm trying to do, but I'm doing it. Here we go. Because the chip brush has just enough drag to it that it'll take the excess clay and like burnish it down into the edge. And this is just catching anything that would have gotten snagged and potentially broken off. It's just buffering that anyhow. So, but I want to blend all those little edges. And so that's going to achieve, I like the thicker edge. Like, we could have just ripped it off and like done all this without folding it in, but I'm glad that I folded it in because it gave us a little bit of this irregular dimpling around the edge, and I think that's going to be wicked cool. So now Hey, Wendy, do you know where the tile is? Oh, it is. Thank you. Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. Planting winged green beans today. My other varieties are in. Oh, nice. One time I made crockpot barbecue by just adding in garlic, onion, black pepper, salt, a shot of red wine, and a bottle of stout beer. Turned out delicious. Right on. Did you put it on meat? Like, or was it a sauce? I bet you can make. Crockpots are probably perfect for simmering sauces. You can make probably tomato paste in a crockpot, huh? I wonder if it would burn less. It probably tastes like crockpot liner, so I'd have to do it like raw dogged right in the crock. I've never eaten winged green beans. What are those like? And that's a thing we know now. Yes, used to grow them when I was younger. Right on, canned, frozen, and fresh. Right on. Which one do you prefer to use in a green bean casserole? Like, do you have a favorite cut of bean? All right, we're popping this into the oven, and then we're going to start covering the bottle. Ooh, okay. I got to take y'all with me, though, so that you can see. Because we're going to step in this room. Oh, I got to zoom out a little. There we go. That's a reasonable amount of being zoomed out. Do you see that? And then how it glows from the side. Here, let me set this down. I'm going to hide in the curtain. Woo. Oh, I can't hide because the thing's, well, heck. It's still glowing yet. Well, I had set the thing down. There we go. So you can kind of see through the cap. We'll be able to do that after it's been baked. Okay, so come out of the curtain. We're coming into the kitchen. Yeah, Maddie smuggled us some cherry sundrop from Tennessee. They don't sell it in Missouri, and it's one of Randy's favorites. Y'all, my stove is filthy. Don't judge me. Oven looks good, though. You gotta put down the ducky. I'm gonna go cry now. Let's just set this here. I'm not gonna put the phone in the oven. Oh my god, it's actually pretty okay. It's got some hunks of fur. All right, we gotta go do a repair real quick. Okay. Oh, this could have been so much worse. Mushroom down, mushroom down. Oh, that's a good dog. Look at that good dog. I love it. I gotta set this down so I can pet that dog. Don't wake the dog, says Randy. Damn gravity. I used it to cook the meat in. Oh, yeah. Okay. And yes, I make 3-day spaghetti sauce by using a crock pot. You have to use just the ceramic part of the crock pot if you make the recipes. Okay. Oh, Kay says it's her first year growing them. Ooh, got snow peas. Ernest, I'm sorry, I'd missed your comment. You said, watching your channel made me want to start beading and making my own chains. Excellent. We're enablers. So if you're craftily inclined or if you'd like to be, yes, do it. Thing is, the rabbit hole becomes a black hole pretty quick or more like a volcano. My stash runneth over. Getting peas in at the right time is a trick. I was late this year. Never once have I ever planted my peas at the right time. But I figure if nothing else, it builds up the soil. I just make sure that I buy the cheapest pea seeds I can find, because that is not, I splurge on tomato and pepper seeds. I really like to, have fun with different varieties and stuff of those. But for peas, I don't. I just get, actually, they sprout better than anything. I go to the local feed store and just get it by the pound and I get like a 1/4 pound of pea seeds, and I just toss them like anywhere that I can fit them. Like I'll just uncover some dirt and stir it up with my garden fork, like my hand claw, and plant them. And if they grow, they grow, and if not, oh well. And if they do, but I don't get much of a harvest, then I still feel like it at least gave me something to fold back into the soil. So by trying to cover crop with them, I'm hoping it'll give me a good result. Okay, so we're recovering enough that I can't tell where I had dropped it. Y'all, that went as well as it could have. I'm gonna just leave the cell phone here, and I'm gonna go put it in with both hands and see if that works out better. I hope it didn't roll off into the oven. But wow, we are lucky ducks. I'll be right back. That is so pretty. I love the way that frills. I'd lose my damn mind if I saw this growing out in the garden. No, ooh, don't roll. Oh, okay. It's glowing. Okay. Right. Do you want anything while I'm in the kitchen, honey? Okay. Have a key. Oh. I love you. Tastes like beans. I haven't had any beans today. Can you grow green beans and peas in a pot? Oh, a beer, please. We're all out, Tracy. I'm sorry. If I were growing in a pot, I would go with bush beans over a pole variety, just because the wind's not kind to it. And if you've got more of the plant growing up above the pot than what you have in the pot, just make sure you've got a good trellis. But that's my thoughts on that, but I don't see why you couldn't. I'd go with at least a 6-inch soil depth, but really I don't like to plant anything smaller than a 10-inch pot because they just dry out so quickly. But a heat-proof something decided to keep the mushroom top from rolling. All right, that's a good idea. I found it has like a flat-ish side. If you plant your peas before the equinox, you are fine. Just go for the partial shade if it gets really hot where you are. We plant them under a tree and train them up the strings tied to the branches. Oh, that's cool, Laura. That's a really good tip. You can grow them in a hanging pot, but you need to water and feed them. Gotcha. Is that a pea? I can't see on my phone. My pea grew over 5 feet tall last year, but I started them earlier. Oh, that's cool. I love gardening. It's like one of my favorite things. Okay, I'm gonna get some coffee in me, and then we're gonna cover this bottle with clay. PolymerClay. Hey Randy, can I give you this lid back? I need to put I'm gonna clear the work surface for a sec. All right, y'all, if you're crafting along with me, we're gonna take a few minutes to tidy this up. We've got a mess on our hands. I have to show you guys. I absolutely love this way of organizing. Now, it's getting a little over, like I need to find a better spot for these, but sometimes, it's not perfect, like, Pinterest perfect, but if it works, it works. But like with different sculpting tools, and this is one of my favorite for pressing into a mokumagane. Just all the different little bins and things for covering stuff. I wanted to make some little CIA plants where it's a succulent that has sunglasses and a badge, like it's in the CIA. Though actually, my favorite idea so far has been to make a CIA plant, but it looks just like any other, and that's exactly. It's like, well, that doesn't look like they're in the CIA. Exactly. So, but I need to, tidy that, and then we have all of our stamps and stuff, and I still have my friend Yvette's macaw feathers. I think those are macaw. I might be getting that wrong, but I used some of them in my wedding bouquet. My friend Stephanie had sent me a whole bunch of stamps, but one of these tool chests we got for every Black Friday. at either Lowe's or Home Depot, they have a big old sale on them. You know, it's not every year, but it's usually around that time of year. And we got that for like, was it $50? 50 or 60 for the tool chests when they're on sale. But I mean, for less than $100, and you can put everything in them. Like they hold a lot of weight in their drawers and stuff. Those are my favorite craft carts. And then I get the butcher block tops for them, and I like them a bunch. Right, it's a crazy good price considering those dinky rainbow carts were like $80 a pop if you get them not on sale. I got all of them from my mama, but she was very frustrated by them because you can't put very much weight in them at all. And we're hoarders, so when we've got drawers, it's to put rocks in and stuff. So it's like we need it to be able to hold up to being full of rocks. Hey, Pro, how's it going? And so let's see if we can't get this rolled out just a little thinner. Uh-oh, we got some purple on it. That's okay. That's okay. To start the seeds, I let them sit in a cup of water until a little root comes out. They seem to start better. I hadn't thought of that. That's a good idea. But yeah, and I like them because they're on wheels that actually hold up even when you got a bunch of rocks in them. Okay. So we're gonna... I try to clean at least until I get distracted. And then even if I didn't get very much cleaning done, it's more than if I didn't try at all. So I'm going to put these hot glue sticks where they go. Wee. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that on there. It got stuck to the back. I'm just going to crank it through. And now I'm going to layer this piece on. Missed a gravity moment. Looks like the storms missed us by about 10 miles. Got only rain, lots and lots and lots of rain. The sky was dumping buckets on us. Were there like tornadoes or something? Because it was wild this morning. With the jewelry making, I like to combine custom-made jade pieces of a picture you like. Oh, with sapphires, ruby, jade, and moonstone, and make chains out of it. That's really cool. Oh, Marion says you so need to do a craft room tour again, Vaughn. I'll watch. Okay. Do you want one live? Or house is a mess, but I think that gives the... Randy says not to do it live right now. So I have zero shame about the way I live. And Randy's like, it looks like we haven't been here in 2 weeks. Let's get the house clean. Excuse me. Okay. So I was thinking about doing it on the number 1 thickness, but if I were to put lights into it, I'm gonna do it and then, well, let's try it on number 2. Let's experiment a little. Pinterest perfect doesn't exist in real life and invites unrealistic comparison, which is the enemy of joy. I might prefer perfectly imperfect. Right. But just knowing that that's a thing and being able to remind myself whenever I get frustrated that I exist in reality, it's okay. I think that's perfectly fine. It spread us just a little thinner. Let's try on the 3rd setting, but I'm going to go ahead because it's even if I have a lot of stuff and even if the drawers are a bit disheveled or looking disorganized, if I still know that underneath that thing in that bin is where this goes, then whenever I'm cleaning up, I know where to put things away because they have a place. It's whenever my tools don't have a place that they go, that things get really messy and out of hand and I start to get frustrated because like nothing's everywhere I'm looking for it. And the strategy that I used is like an example of this is yesterday unloading the van, we were trying to find those same corner pieces that we were missing again. And we had looked in the gridware box and they weren't in there. And we eventually found them where they were in with the horns and stuff. But that first place that we went, the gridware box, wherever we think we should have them, that should be where they go. And so now they go in with the grid ware, and now we just know. And so using that same kind of, following, like we had binder clips everywhere forever all the time, and it was like such a mess until we were like, this is the binder clip bin. We have a binder clip bin in our booth. We have a binder clip drawer in our house. So it's like, even if it's not in the best location for like prime, accessibility, that still we know that's where they go. And so whenever we need like a bunch of them, we got it. Okay. I'm just gonna bring this around like we're putting, oh, I'm not even in frame. Let me get situated for y'all. But it was, those of y'all who've been with the channel for a long time, you've seen how far our craft room has evolved. And it's nuts to me that how much it has evolved. I completely forgot to set a timer. I think I only needed it for like 15 or 20 minutes. So it might be good. Might be time, yeah. Because it's going to get baked again. Okay. No. It needs to stay in there for, let's give it 10 more minutes. That's that cap's final bake. Thank you, honey. I'm sorry I had to think about it. I'm worried that you'll be able to see my peach through the thing. A lot of the cake building videos, the techniques that they use for shaping and kind of maneuvering the fondant can be really helpful in your PolymerClay creations as well. Because especially whenever you're applying like a layer and you're wanting to get a nice smooth adhesion, PolymerClay and fondant kind of, have you all noticed that at all? It's been a long time since I've worked in fondant, but I'm going to just tear off initially. There we go. Very satisfying. I love covering bottles in clay. So yeah, I'm just going to get this folded and rolled. Ooh, I've been planning our trip to camp along. Oh, that's so exciting. We've talked about timers, ma'am. I know. I'm so bad at this, but I'm going to keep trying. I mean, imagine how far I'd go if I were like competent. Because I'd be unstoppable. So, but that's my lesson in this life, is to learn how to overcome my biggest obstacle, me. So, and sometimes I just don't feel like resisting against the current. Ooh, why did I do it like this? It's like making noodles. Babe, that's what we can do. Let's make some egg noodles. Not right now. Not right this second.
Oh, with the eggs?
With all those damn eggs.
Hell yeah.
Okay. We got a hell yeah. We have so many eggs. It's ridiculous right now. Like, y'all, I can't even. I'm going to show y'all. And some of them got kind of good dirty. So again, don't judge me. I'm just a filthy little gremlin. We've got eggs that it was damp and the chickens had muddy feet, so they got dirty. We've got eggs. That's my compost bowl. Eggs. We've got, my fridge is probably filthy. Eggs. Eggs. Like, damn. And we eat approximately, like, no, we eat 5 eggs a day. If we have whole and toast for breakfast, we typically, that's our egg consumption. And so I've started doing deviled eggs once a week, but we can only eat, like, before they start to turn, we can only eat a dozen deviled eggs. Like, this is a lot of eggs, people. Pasta and custard time. Yep, but we've got well, I don't think we're supposed to dry the pasta in the dehydrator, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't recall, but we can consult the hive mind and see. I'm just passing this through the pasta machine. You can give them to Z. Yeah, that's true. I was thinking about cooking the dirty ones and giving them back to the chickens. Like cleaning them first, but still just. So I want a clean edge for adhesion. Eggs are good for dogs. Right on. Oh, Z would love that. I mean, he's already beating us up for our breakfasts and lunch money, though. Like, he's gotten to be such a bully in his old age. Because we're inclined to just give him whatever he wants because he's ancient. So it's like, but Randy can't eat his jerky in peace. I boil a big pan of eggs every 2 weeks and keep a drawer in my fridge full of handy snacks. Great for humans and canines. Oh. Boiled eggs with lemon lime salt. Oh, make a frittata for a few days. I'm not very good at all at making frittatas, I'm going to be honest. But yeah, I think we'll make a big old batch of that's a project Randy and I've been wanting to experiment with, because I don't care for the lime slaked eggs, because it's just not my favorite way. I don't feel like I have enough to warrant doing the lime slaked eggs. But we thought making our own pasta would be a lot of fun, like to get to do together. Okay, so now I'm going to come through and I'm going to cut right along that slight bulge line. Then I'm going to come through, and I'm using the lighting for this quite a bit. Oh, no, that's the part I want to leave on. Float on, okay. Oh, float on, okay. Cat and Collagen says, I'm at that difficult point where everything doesn't have its place yet. It's so maddening and disheartening. In my mind, I know I want everything to have a place and be in it, but there's so much and so many different things to wrangle, and my brain gets so lost down rabbit holes. There's the added wrinkle of sharing my studio room with my daughter, who is ADD too. Right on. I understand. It's tricky, but if there's a crafter, there's a way. And we will find what works for us and do that right up until it doesn't. But Randy's method of putting like with like really helped me, because it started with just having things, in the same corner of the room. If it has to do with wire wrapping or beading or chainmail, it went in that corner of the room. Sometimes it was still in a disheveled mess, but it kind of limited the zone. And then I knew if I found something that it's like, why is this bag of beads here? It goes in that corner of the room. And then from there, we were able to develop a little bit more of sense through the chaos, that it's like, okay, now that we have all these things in this corner of the room, let's put all the chainmail in the same bag together. Doesn't have to be organized by size, doesn't have to anything, or and it's literally taken 5 years of daily work, trying to, because some days the work is just to keep entropy at bay, and maintain what we've already gotten going. But a lot of this stuff, once it's done once, you don't have to reorganize from scratch again. I mean, unless you move rooms or something, but at least for hopefully the near to immediate future, that eating an elephant one bite at a time, there's still so much ahead of you, but it doesn't it does regenerate when it's a mess. Just keep going, you'll get there. If only you could see my house. It's one big craft dump. Yes. Ours is full of shirts, boxes, and equipment. Yeah, that's, a big part. You can tell when somebody runs a business out of their home. I don't have a kitchen table for eating at. Like, Randy and I eat at that tray table. I'll just bring my chair over there and then we eat and we watch his computer screen as our TV. That's why it was such a huge quality of life upgrade when we made one of the guest rooms into a living room for us and got like an actually comfortable couch, because we had just been sitting on one of those, the cheapest Walmart futon. Like, that was our couch. So it was miserable. Like, it was so uncomfortable. It wasn't big enough for us and the dogs. Like, but that was, part of these past 5 years, learning how to balance working from home. Because at first it wasn't so bad, but when the clinical burnout starts to set in, it's a really slow burn. And sometimes things become really obvious in hindsight that it's like, oh, we should have been practicing work like that. Just because we could work that hard when we were young, I don't know if it was good for us that we did, but I have zero regrets. Like, when my hand hurts, I don't have any, oh, I wish I hadn't done this so my hand wouldn't feel this way. I feel like this is the price that we pay, that is okay. I'm here for it. And I'm being loving and patient with my body. And some lessons I had to learn harder than others, but I'm learning to have that work-life balance now. Sometimes I gotta bonk my head to learn. You can tell me all day, take care of your hands. But sometimes I have to bonk my head to learn it myself. So my impulse was to go ahead and like cut the doors and windows and stuff, but I'm really glad that I'm doing this here now, because we can see as bubbles form, as we kind of pet. You want to pet the bottle with your spoon to get it to trust you. But no, to build the bond with the bottle. Like we're imprinting on ducks or something. But it's compiling the bubbles all into kind of the same area. So as we pet our bottle with a spoon, it's going to be squeezing the air bubbles out and removing any lines from whenever we were joining things. Now, Randy had used a citric acid flour paste to remove the enameling or whatever it was that was on the bottle for the logos and stuff, because it wasn't a sticker, it was like baked on. For some reason, that does not work. Oh, baby, thank you. Oh, he's brought the mushroom back. You're the greatest. I believe you. Is the oven still going?
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. But for some reason, the peach bottles, it wasn't budging. So, because we wanted to experiment with smashing and using these in glass melts for making like glass tiles, and like little pyramids and like paperweights and stuff. And we wanted to experiment with attaching the base, like this would be the base for a slumped glass mushroom cap for some different yard sculptures. So the ones that we are able to get the enamel off of are going towards that purpose, and the ones that we can't, I'm going to sculpt little fairy houses out of. And I think we're going to make a whole bunch of fairy houses and sell them to raise money for buying the school. I don't know if we'll do it by auction. We're going to be doing some as a giveaway, though, because the biggest way, like, I can only imagine y'all's groceries are just as expensive as mine. Money's probably just as tight for everybody else as it is for me. But just by being here, just by spending your time with us and hopefully enjoying what we do and being part of our community, like by being here, that's a tremendous gift to us, and it helps us every day to get closer to our goals and our dreams. And so doing a giveaway is like, you don't have to spend a penny. I still want to get these fairy houses out, and it gives us something to watch and to do, and to hopefully YouTube will, let us put ads on it and stuff. Like, that's why we don't play any fun music or anything in the ones whenever we're streaming to YouTube. Whenever we just stream to Kick, it's a great way to, they're so far, they've been very relaxed in, I haven't gotten caught yet, so I can still play music on Kick. So I'm just coming through and just cutting little slices in anywhere that looks like it has bubbles. My bubbles. And then just petting it on down. And I think we're getting to where we can carve on the door and stuff. But Randy and I aren't entirely certain how all of those things are going to be implemented. Like, we're still figuring it out. Because, like, we learned whenever we were still predominantly over on Patreon that, like, you can't have raffles because that's gambling. So, I don't know. We've got all sorts of different avenues, but really the best way to help us get this school is to watch and enjoy our videos. Oh, wait, did you say buying a school? I'm so confused. Yeah, they found an old school for sale in Tennessee. Oh my, that's awesome. I'm so out of the loop. Yeah, it's very tentative, but we're very excited about it. The budget is potentially achievable for us, but there's a couple of things, like I haven't called any real estate agents yet because we're waiting to hear back on some dates so that we can know when we're going to be in Tennessee, and then to talk to the real estate agent to ask some questions about the property. And then once we've done that, then I'm going to start talking to our bank and pursuing every avenue that we need to pursue to get this done, because that's what we do. Oh, Marion says, you've grown so much. I started watching you making cosplay costumes and doing leather work and cutting your hair. Yeah, I still do those things. Cutting my hair too. Ooh, scrambled eggs and avocado bread. Ooh, also good feed back to your chicks, raw or cooked. There's probably going to be a lot of them going back to the chickens. And I caught the stream. I missed out yesterday. I'm so glad I still get my weekly Vaughn stream. Hey, Hannah, how's it going? But yeah, we feel like we've come kind of full circle, because, like, I actually have a picture that I want to show you guys. This is I found a wonderful example of how I think progress looks like. If it's a flat chart, it looks like, progress that way. And I'm convinced that life and progress are a spiral. So, things don't rhyme, or things don't repeat, but they do rhyme. Oh man, I got a lot of videos on this that I got to clear off my phone. Where is it? I thought I had it in here. Well, heck, I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to put my phone down. I thought I had screen captured it, but I thought initially, whenever you think about making progress, that it looks like, an XY graph, and its progress is like either supposed to be going up or going down or fluctuating. And really, that line is going to be fluctuating, but it's not just fluctuating. It's like progressing through, like, we're making progress in different ways that whenever you only look at it from, like, one aspect, it doesn't look like there's been a lot of change, but when you turn it, it's like, whoa. And I had found something that demonstrated that perfectly. It was like physics or something. Like, it was a chart demonstrating something physics. And We're still here on YouTube. That's, oh, Cat and College says the YouTube comments have dropped off the kick chat space. Hey, Randy, are you able to check? I don't know. It seems like, is everything okay, you guys? Did it get resolved? Yeah, like, and that's how progress is. And so there's things, especially after my hurting my hand. I'm not as good of a wire wrapper as I used to be. Like, my technique is just sloppier than it used to be. I'm not able to achieve as cleanly things that I used to, and that's okay, because this is how evolution happens. Because, well, I might be, from one perspective, it might be look like I'm worse as an artist based off of my wire wrapping, but I feel more creative and drawn towards sculpture, and I'm learning new things, and like my heart feels ignited. So it's like, sometimes if we feel like we're slipping, maybe we need to change our perspective and see, sometimes we have to let go of what was most important to make room for what will be. And that transition is rarely ever clean or easy, but it's always worth it, I think. Yeah, I had hurt my hand from years of overuse, truly, because this wouldn't have happened just overnight. It took years and years, but it all came to a head when we did our last rearrange, and I had hurt these parts of my hands because I was picking up stuff that was too big, and so I pulled something in both of my hands, and so, but I kept moving things because I don't quit, even whenever I should, unfortunately. But I'm learning how to get out of my own way. And so just overuse on my hands, and I was learning the guitar, so I was practicing like spreading that muscle, and I was obsessed. So I was practicing like sometimes up to an hour a day, because I was really enjoying it, and I was mourning the passing of some of our pets, and it really gave me something to pour myself into. And so my hand was kind of sore in new and unique ways from that. And then one of our friends had a tree go down in their backyard, and we wanted to learn how to use a chainsaw. Randy's used one before, but I wanted to learn how to use a chainsaw and help them out and harvest. I wanted the logs. I was like, can I use the logs? So now we have logs for the borders of the flower beds in the garden. But that was a lot of logs to have chainsawed and then hucked. And we did a lot of log hucking, and I am greedy. So I was hucking logs that were way too big. Like, we were having to get like I'm glad I was weightlifting at the time, because I was able to carry heavier logs, because Randy told me, he's like, if you can carry it, you can have it. So I'm over here breaking my damn myself, trying to carry logs. And then we loaded up their whole trailer, and then we unloaded the whole trailer so that they could take it back because they had more to be hauling. And then I moved a whole bunch of stepping stones. This is in the same day. Like, we did the chainsawing, and then like 4 days later we loaded and unloaded the trailer, moved the stepping stones, and then I was like, I'm gonna do some PolymerClay. And I was squeezing the clay, and something popped. And that was in 2023. And then I didn't stop using it for almost 2 years. So I kept recovering to the point that, okay, I can get back to work. But I wasn't recovered enough. So it was just, instead of letting myself get fully rested, I was just like running on between empty and like just $2 of gas in the tank just to get me to where I could go to make it through basically another week. And then in the fall of like the autumn of 2024, we took September, October. No. Did I take 4 months off? No, I took 2 months off. It was the end of September. I didn't make anything through the whole month of November or through the whole month of October and November. I took those 2 months off. We didn't have videos, we didn't have live streams, and I didn't craft. I was like, I told myself, I'm only going to do something that's not for sale, and I'm not putting pictures of it on the internet. So it doesn't need to be anything. And it took me going back to Crayola coloring books, and Randy got me a fresh box of crayons and everything. But because I'm like, I can't sell it. This is for some, in my head, I was like, well, this isn't art. I don't have to, I'm just going to have fun. And then I started making, like, drawing like a mandala every day, like, well, coloring it. And it took 2 weeks before I could do that without, like, almost crying from stress. Like, I was really burnt out, you guys. That, like, I'd literally burnt those wires, and the little spark, I wasn't able to get through whatever I was needing to get through. And it took 2 weeks. And we also started doing, I call it the baby step program. I have it up on the Vonster vlog. It's week 1, you do every day a 5-minute walking in place exercise, like silver sneaker, like, should be easy, but it was challenging for me. I was getting dangerously sedentary. I say as my back pops. Week 2, you do 10 minutes. Week 3, you do 15. Week 4, you do 20 minutes every day of these, like, walking in place exercises to build up, like, in, cardiovascular health and balance and endurance, and just get some happy brain chemicals going. And we did that up until the week that we did 7 60-minute workouts. And so we've taken like 2 weeks off because of everything that's been going on. But Anime St. Louis this year was significantly more doable. Like, we were not as wrecked. Our feet still hurt, but they're not as bad as what they did in years past when we hadn't been just training to keep our meat suits, fit enough to be mobile. So I'm just going to carve out, and yeah, I'm just going to carve out the fairy door. So we took some time off. It let my hand heal. It let me kind of chill out a little bit, hopefully, from just being chronically overworked, because website sales had been so slow, and we had so many people canceling kits and stuff, which I understand, and everybody was really great about it, who needed to cancel. Like, there were only a couple of people who were like, everything you do is stupid and these are ugly and I'm disappointed and and I'm like, okay, sorry. Like, if that's how you feel, cool. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm glad you're canceling, because this clearly wasn't for you. I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. I forget what I was saying. Oh, things had been that we were like, let's just take this season off. Like, we were going to try to do like a Christmas, like, mega sale and all this stuff. And we were like, let's just take a break. I don't know if we'll ever be able, like, let's take this opportunity while we have it. And it was amazing. Like, Randy and I watched shows on TV and just had a really great time just getting to be together. And I got my mojo back. Woo! So I'm going to use this circle cutter. I'm going to do a little one right there. And I'm going to do a little one right there. I'm going to do a little one right there. It'd be cool if these were even, but they're not going to be. It's not too bad. And I'm going to do a little one. Is there going to be a peach logo there? I can't tell. I don't know. Let's see. Oops. Now, this clay is quite sticky, but that's all right. And I love it because you can see how well rubbing the bottle with the spoon adhered the clay to the glass. And that's okay, because we can scrape and clean it up and everything will be all right. There we go. But yeah, so my hand still gets sore, but I've learned to listen. Ish. I'm not that great about it. I need to do better, but Yeah. Anne says everything happens for a reason. At the time it needed to happen, I believe. Yeah. No, we needed to. I needed to stop burning the candle at both ends before I burnt myself out. Because, like, I was getting to where it's like I was just stressed all the time. Like, not my best self for sure. Okay, so we got that one carved out. And we can even, once we've done that, we can come in and clean up that edge. So if we boogied it up a little bit, there we go. Whoop. Hey Erica, how are you doing, baby Hulk Rage? Oh, there we go. Oh, snap, crackle, pop. We're gonna take a little bit of a stretch break here in a minute. Woof, this clay is sticky. That's good though. I like it sticky for sticking to the bottle. There we are. And then, woo! Oh, well, it tore it, but that's okay. We can make this work. All right. I'm gonna set that down. I'm gonna take the lid off. That way, as the bottle heats, I don't want any air pressure to build up or anything. So I'm gonna go pop this one in the oven. I'm not taking the phone with me. Oof, because I don't want to have a repeat of earlier. Oh, that looks so cool glowing though. How am I gonna do this? Ooh, that's hot. Hey, Wendy. Do you have the other oven mitt? I burnt my fingy. I gotta take this rack down a level. Oh, I think I can do it with just the one. Okay, there we go. Thank you, baby. I was just gonna prepare. Yeah, can I have the tile? As soon as I say it out loud, I was just gonna precariously perch it. I'm like, yeah, I should put it on the tile. There's no reason not to. Is it cooled down? Yeah, significantly. It's quite cool to the touch. Gandalf, no. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's in the oven. And now, ooh, I gotta get out my hot glue gun. We're gonna dig that out of where it goes, even though it's a messy drawer. Okay. Let me get this plugged in. Okay. And this glue gun doesn't have like a button that turns it on and off. It's just on now. So, let's see, Prosed. Ah, hey Joe, how are you doing? Sorry, I'm so behind on comments. Pro had said, so inspirational. I've been going through some issues. I've been contemplating pivoting. My goals are going to change. I'm not quitting, just pivoting. Change is super necessary through the storms of life. Like if we're all boats on the, ships on the sea, and the wind blows us off course and we either need to course adjust, or maybe we see calmer waters, or a different dream on the horizon, it is okay. You just got to keep going. Just wherever your heart pulls you, I feel like we owe it to ourselves to go there. A wild Joe has appeared. Sometimes we take good care of our tools and forget that we need our bodies to work said tools. It's hard to take time. So glad you even though we missed you. I'm glad I did too. And it was just what was needed at the time. Sometimes you got to let your soil rest before you grow something again. Set a timer. Hey, Randy, can you set a timer for 20 minutes? Thank you, guys. Thank you, Marianne. Hey, little sprite. Says, I totally understand. I tend to get a bit obsessed with things and then burn out. I have to watch myself. My best friend is great for that. He's always pulling me back down to earth. Right on. That's awesome. That's the best kind of friends. And Randy keeps me grounded. And I love that. He's my favorite place to like be rooted to, because like wherever we are, like if we're off in the wilds of like a convention or something, or camping, or I can go off and go backpacking and then I come back to camp and I get to tell Randy all about it. But it just gives me, I always know where I'm going because I'm always looking for Randy to show him a rock I found. Time is for babies. Well, babies get burnt clay. So so yeah, you can see any of those wee crumblies that weren't on there well, we can just rub them off with our thumb. Actually feels really nice. Ooh. Oh, I'd make a back scratcher like this. A little mushroom back scratcher. Okay. Now the thing is this is still super duper warm. And our bottle that we're putting it on is in the oven. So I'm going to wait to hot glue this because I want the bottle to be on there to make sure that it's like lined up properly. So that's looking pretty cool. Perhaps next we will do, let me go look upstairs for a bottle. I'll be right back. So stretch break, everybody. I'll be right back. I'm going to go look for a TV. Okay. So I couldn't find a bottle that was small enough, but I have this, it's called a studio nugget. And a studio nugget is just a chunk of glass that you would melt down for, like in blown glass. Like if this is the rod, you would melt a bunch of these in your kiln and you would dip the rod in there to have the ball of glass on it. And then you would take it and put it into the glory hole kiln where it heats it. It's a kiln that has like a slide door so you can, heat the glass and you take it out and you roll it and you add in this stuff. I've never blown glass, but I like learning about it, and I really hope that one day we'll be able to, and that's exactly the sort of thing that we might be able to accomplish in the school, is having a blown glass studio. And if we could have, because I don't know how to do blown glass. Anything I know is just in theory and off of watching other people. But if we set up a studio space for it and had teachers come in and teach, so we're hosting as the studio space, they're teaching the trade, and I get to learn as well. That'd be pretty freaking cool. Like, I'm just saying. So, but that's what studio nuggets are, is they're just big old hunks of a consistent COE glass. These are 96, but that's not important right now because I'm just going to use this. I don't have a little bottle, but I just wanted something clear that I could sculpt over so it looks like there's little like windows in the house. Because this is going to be like a little neighbor house. Glory hole. Is that the real name for it actually? Yes. It comes with a built-in timer. When you see fire and smoke, it's done. A little too done. I did. Yeah. It's just what it's called, you guys. If only I could teleport stuff to people I know, I could have sent you guys a few smaller bottles I had sadly recycled. Oh, right on. It is amazing. So I wish I had some crafting artsy friends here in Southern California to hang with. It would be nice to have real life get-togethers to augment or supplement our wonderful online community here with Bon and Randy. Right? The West Coast is just so far away. Otherwise, I'd be there more often. But we went with our friends with World of Strange on a road trip. And we still didn't make it to the West Coast. And it was the longest car ride, I think, of my life. But I had so much fun. And then I even survived mild head trauma. So your girl can thunk her head like a wet melon, and I'm still fine. Yeah. I'm just off to the side here. I'm going to slice this down, and I'm going to wrap this. I'm just going to, I don't know, I'm experimenting. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going. In Dutch, you won't insult me in any way or form. Okay. Because all of my jars were just a little too big. And so I'm kind of excited about if I can get this kind of just sat on there. Or do I want to do it like, oh, maybe. He's just a chunky boy. Because he's snoring. He's such a good dog. And no AC on the way back. Oh yeah, but you let me color on the boxes. So Tracy had me backed into the back of her van with like all the rest of the product and stuff, which is the same treatment I'm used to in our own car, because she had watched, I think you had seen this, where I'd sit down in the passenger seat and get my feet comfortable, and then Randy would pack in around my legs and I'd be holding like trays of crafting supplies and inventory in my lap, and then I'd just be like buried like that hoarder from the Hoarder show, who the lady comes in and she's like, well, you're just nested in there, huh? And she's like, yeah. That was me in the car. Like, I was already used to it. But she let me color on the boxes. I had such a good time riding with the window down, watching all the desert go by. There's nothing like trauma bonding with friends. That's why we do Dragon Con every year. Buffalo burgers, that was a lot of fun. And we saw the crystal, or the petrified forest. What about a fairy bottle? Maybe. That might be too small. I'm experimenting to see. Ooh, could the little glass cabs from Dollar Tree work as window glass? Yeah, that's a good idea. It's actually a much better idea, but I'm kind of stuck into what I'm doing right now, so I'm gonna keep going. Trays of inventory, also known as projectiles. Oh no, I wasn't gonna make it. Randy's always driven very carefully because he knew we were not in a good position to we weren't gonna make it. My parents used to do that to me and my siblings when we went camping and only had a van and a small utility trailer. They'd call it our fort that made it fun. The tiny mushroom kind of looks like a black mage from the original Final Fantasy video games. Ooh! I love that. We'll use our spoon to blend that line a little more. I hurry, like I kind of dive in and be like, go, go, go. Let's get this line blended because I'm scared of the project. And I have to be brave. And sometimes to be brave, you just have to jump in. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we could have done a wad of foil. Oh, that wasn't on a flat side at all. I'm just going to smush that back in there. Okay, I think this might be the flat side. Yes. Get in there and kind of lifting out. So now what I'm hoping is that the glass will kind of transfer the light out. And so by not having a solid core, it gives us like a really big inside area. Can I pet that clay? You'll pet that clay? Yeah, you can pet that clay. Oh, I love that. I'm going to leave that because that looks like such a little like crescent moon. I think that looks cool. I'm leaving it. Like, I love that so much. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to remember it for next time. But my hope is that if we did this and set this over like a little light diode or something, that the glass would diffuse the light in a really cool way. So we can tidy that up a little bit. Yeah, it was the Man in the Moon profile quite a bit. But I want it to match with the other windows, so. Tiny mushroom. Ooh, oh, a chimney would be cool. No, I think we'll use like a bolt or something from a different project for the roof. Okay. So that'll be kind of, and now this should fit the curve of it. And so that'll be kind of how it sits. So it's not going to have its own door. It's just going to be like a separate extension is what I've decided just now. Ooh, or we could give him another little eye and he could be like a little guard. It could be a little guard mushroom that just grew right out of the house. Ah! Oh my gosh! Holy shit, Joe! What? Thank you so much. Oh my god. Wow, Joe. So Designed by Joe just gifted 20 Back to Earth Creations memberships on YouTube. Wow. Kick was being stupid, so doing it over here. Holy smokes. Wow. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Thank you. Like, I'm speechless. A gargoyle mushroom? Oh, Bodega, I love that. Oh, okay, I gotta plug this back in. Wow, for the future workshop. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Oh, y'all, I can't even tell you how much y'all make our dreams come true just by being here. Like, thank you. I'm going to keep crafting, but thank you. But yes, a gargoyle. Right? Way to go, Joe. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to set that there. We might do little, I don't know, we might make them look more like eyes later. I can't unsee nostrils. Look. Yes. Now it's gonna sniff. Well, maybe it's their maybe that's how it works, is it's their sniffing room. It's a nose. Well, I'm thinking whenever we have our glow-in-the-dark BBs, or we might use these ones, because I think we're actually out. We used them all up on juggling balls. That's kind of creepy. We'll figure it out. I'm hoping it'll glow cool. All right, so we're going to dig in here, and we're going to grab, I'm going to use this size cookie cutter to just cut out a circle from our clay, which I think is on the first thickness on our pasta machine. And then I'm just going to adhere this by smushing from the center out to the edges. A little ghost mushroom, yeah. They're little shroom sprites. A little mustache under it. So I'm cutting carefully as to not to cut into the baked clay. I feel like my spoon may actually be better for this, or actually just our cookie cutter. Just firm enough to scrape away the unbaked, but not so sharp that it's going to risk marring the baked clay. And now from here we can kind of blend with our fingertip just a bit. I wouldn't put too much work into this step because it's going to get, like, this step does not need to be perfect. How late are we streaming today? Until 3, I think. Let me text and see. And I never know what to say because it's like, hey, or do you still want to hang out today? No is okay. And I'm like, I feel like I'm not going to put that last part on because it's like, I don't want them to think that I don't want to, but it's also life happens and I'm just going to send the text. Like, I don't know why I'm like this. Instant anxiety. Like, instant anxiety. It'll be fine. I have to trust that my friends love me. So Randy goes, I don't know. I know, that's what I'm saying. Because there's always that part of my brain that's like, yeah, they love you so far. And it's like, okay. All right, we're going to do the same kind of as how we did before, but I don't feel like we need to start at the 10 or at the 8mm, but you know what? I'm going to do it anyways. and I am just building out from the center, same way as what we did. It looks so much like a nose through the camera. Like, that's so creepy. Not alone. You're a dope. Aw, well, shit. Well, thank you, Tashers. Aw, thank you, Michelle. I love you guys. Speaking of which, the Sequoia State Park in Oklahoma is where we are having this year's camp along. And I think there's information about it in every newsletter that we're sending. Ooh, could you pull that from the oven from me, honey? Huh? Oh, yes, please. So I'm going to we get these little clay boogies. I got to stand for a little bit, y'all. I'm going to need to get another standing desk, I think. I just can't do sitting all day anymore. I get tight in like my hip bones, like a tailbone area. So it's a literal pain in my ass to be sitting all day. So we're just going to work like this, standing. I normally like to have something to brace my hand on. That way I'm not like wobbling. It gives me a much steadier base. I'm just kind of pulling out from the center. Do you want to take that one off of the Botrix, baby? Uh-huh. Putting down the ducky. And then we're going to come in here. We're going to do a smaller ball stylus. Remember, it gets kind of boogie. Am I even in frame? Send hope. Thank you. Right on, Joe. Well, thank you so much for popping in and saying hey. I hope you have a good day at work. Thank you so much for your generosity. You've always been so kind to us. Invited some of the girls from my dance group. Ooh, that'll be awesome. Oh, well, that means there's going to be dancing and drumming, right? I hope that's going to be a blast. Okay. Just pulling and rotating. Getting that little bit of sculpting. I don't mind sculpting and standing. I just wish I had that's what I like about the sitting, is having the workbench like right here in front of me. Just pulling that out. Well, I invited all of them, but they probably won't all show. Right on. That's going to be cool. I can't wait to meet your other friends, Michelle. Okay, so there's that. Now we're going to be coming in with the porcupine quill. Hannah says the camp along really is the only reason I suddenly want to go to the US this year. Oh my God. And it's beautiful. It is beautiful out there. Like, I'm just going to say, I've not seen it in like late summer, early fall. But I saw it in early spring with the irises blooming and all the trees starting to set leaf. But all the birds were acting a fool and just spring was springing. And it was beautiful. Like city wise, it doesn't seem to have like a ton of, like if you want to see someplace like New York City or something, this is not going to itch that scratch or scratch that itch. But if you want to see some grade A beautiful nature with like big old growth oak trees and uh-oh, shroom down. I think we're going to do a pontoon. That and some other people are interested in doing a pontoon. So if anybody else is interested in pontoon, I'm interested in pontoon. Though I'm also at some point I've got to ride a horse that weekend. They have trail rides, and it's my continued motivation for weight loss post Anime St. Louis and everything. Is so that I can ride one of the horses at the camp along, even if I have to do it on like Monday or something after everybody's gone. Because like if nobody else wants to go horseback riding, but I'm going horse if I can. I'm going horseback riding. Like this is gonna sound silly, but I've already started practicing on my front porch. Actually, there's the step, like the pedestals on the like the sides of the steps that I'm stepping on and lifting up to like practice the movement of uh, getting in the saddle from the ground. And I'm glad I started practicing because I'm not good at it. Stupid fun. I can't. Oh, stop, fun. I can't go. This is just making me jealous now. Oh no, don't be jealous. Where hopefully we might one day have an international camp along where we go into Canada, and then if we go into like the UK. Now Randy and I would have to just be like renting. I don't think we could bring our whole minivan of camping gear across the pond, but we'll figure something out. If there's a crafter, there's a way. Which I don't know why, but every time I say that, it makes me think about the Predator, the musical, where they're going, "If it bleeds, we can kill it." Like, if there's a crafter, there's a way. Same vibe. Whew, that's a long drive. Coming from Florida for the camp along, that is a long drive, Love and Loops. But we are glad to have you. That'd be super cool. And this will be our third annual one, and I really do plan on doing one of these just honestly for the rest of my life. So I'd like to hit all 50 states. So far we've camped in Alabama and Arkansas, and then we'll be in Oklahoma. So hitting, that's 3 of them. Strong pelvic muscles are needed more than one realizes for horseback riding. Right on. And again, crazy horse girl, but my friend Misty got me this saddle chair. So like I'll sit in the saddle chair to be like, I'm gonna ride a horse. Like Randy caught me sitting in the saddle chair crafting, watching GoPro footage of other people riding horses from like point of view, and he was just like, I was like, you play video games? I am a horse girl. So who just doesn't have a horse or any of the knowledge or experience. Like I've gone trail riding like twice. And whenever I lived at the campground, I wasn't allowed to ride the horses, but they let me muck their stalls. So for 3 years, I got to experience mucking stalls. And I even loved that. So it's just, I don't know. Like I loved the smell of the straw and the hay and scraping everything out and putting the lime down. It was only like once a week, you know, because the horses weren't stalled. They just had this enclosure for if the weather was inclement, they could go into it. But they were pasture just all the time. Anytime they wanted, they had full reign of the pasture. But I got in trouble because I kept going through the woods to a different part of the fence where I thought the owners couldn't see, and I'd feed the horses apples, but the horses were getting really fat, and I kept running out of apples. So till our 10 p.m. Gotcha. I have horse fever really, really bad since I was a child. Like, this is not like a new development. It's just a secret hidden passion. Like, I didn't realize how much I was keeping it hidden until Randy and I've been together for like 20 years. And we were in a Cracker Barrel. And I was like, is this a Briar's? And then I picked it up and it was like, because it was a model horse. And Randy was just like he saw me go full Pokemon mode, but on like model horses, like the way that he'll be like, oh my God, a holographic Charizard. Like, and I was picking it up and I was like, I bet this one's, a Clydesdale, and it said the name on the tummy. And I was like, because I collected Grand Champions, like the little ones. That's all we had the space for. But, yeah. I don't think there's a cure for it, so I'm just going to have to get horses. And they're like, I don't have pictures of most of my friends on my phone, but I have a picture of a horse that I met once, and it's a picture of me hugging the horse. And I look at that about once a week. So we walked through the stalls at Churchill, brought back memories of showing at the fair for 4-H. Oh, but did you see any super pretty horses? Briar, oh my God, they are the best. They are. Like, it's a really good model. There were no seams or anything. The paint job, and I've airbrushed just enough to know how hard it is because I'm very bad at it. But there's some pretty serious stuff. All right, we're gonna set that down, and we're gonna put down Ducky if you want to play the saxophone. And we're gonna start putting a little bit of texture into our little gargoyle. And I'm just doing, I didn't do this on like the main house, but this room just sprouted, so it's just a baby mushroom. It's just a baby. So we're just gonna put some little lines in it. A nose job. So I have a question for you guys. If y'all feel like replying, that's perfect. Don't feel like you have to come out of lurk mode though. But what questions should I ask the real estate agent about the property? Like, Randy and I have quite a few written down already, but I would love some additional advice on this. Do I want to put a frill on them? Because I didn't put a frill. I got to put a frill on them. I didn't put one on the top mushroom yet. Okay, so I've got this on the first pasta machine setting. We're going to want to... And so, yeah, I'm just going to layer these together. Feed them through. So there's setting 2. I'm going to go to setting 3, and we're just going to feed that through just to thin it out a little. I think that's perfect for what I'm wanting to do. Okay, back to over here. You might want to get an agent with some actual experience working with commercial property. Right on. How are you going to get the lights into that room? There's not going to be any. I was just hoping that the clay would glow and that the glow would be transmitted through the glass. And so, I don't know. We'll kind of see. I'm just experimenting. Did you know about Briarfest in July in Kentucky? What's Briarfest? What's Briarfest, Tracy? Hey, Randy. What's Briarfest? Do you want to go?
I don't know what it is.
I bet it's a miniature horse convention, like the toys. Like, do what? Ooh. Okay. I saw a dude bring a golf ball with him to view a house. He would set it down and see where it rolled to see if water would flow away or towards the house. That's a good idea. Well, we were going to ask the city about being rezoned, if we would be able to get it rezoned from residential to commercial, because it's right now we're able to run our business out of our house with it just being a residence. And I've gone to private gallery showings at homes that are residential, and so I don't know, there might be like loopholes in the code or something that we might be able to, because I didn't plan on being open like all the time. If we get to the point that we're able to have people come to the property, it would be about the size of like a large family reunion, and people host those at their homes, you know. Possibly ask the real estate agent about commercial zones if you want to host craft classes or similar, then if the area is a commercial zone or may not matter. Yeah, finding out. My hope is that it doesn't matter, you know. Hey Rachel. Oh, it's going great today. We're having a very good time, I think. Did you read horse books? Yes. Probably my favorite one was like Stormy or something. It was a story about like a girl had lost her dad at sea, and then like the horse, and she was like mute, and then there was a storm, and there was this boy, but she slapped the water and like caught a fish because she was fishing, and then oh no, they were on a boat, and I don't know, there was like a horse there, and it was awesome. So yeah, I read horse books. No, I didn't read Necroprancer. It's not real. It could be. Okay, so I'm going to use the size down. Oops, this is the size I was using to cut the gilly part. I'm going to do the size down for the frilly part. We had the gilly, we had the frilly. Yes, I love the Black Stallion books. Oh my god, I'd cry every time at the end. Oh, well, and through most of the book as well. So the zoning about businesses in residential areas is the amount of traffic it adds, not just traffic, road wear and tear, but also parking. As a school, there shouldn't be any problem. That's my hope. It seems to be previously designed to do the function that I would like to continue in it. But yeah, these are great suggestions. Well, and you know, I found a golf ball in the front yard, so that's perfect. If I'm in your shoes, my first question would be if the property has any liens, outstanding debts that need to be paid off before or during purchase, and any easements. Okay, thank you. I said I'm checking the timestamp. It's 2:35. So this is where, because I'm going to come back after the stream and read the comments and write them down. So, okay. Now I need just a little bit of plastic wrap. Whoopsie. To do this next part. So I still haven't heard back, baby, so I don't know if we're going anywhere today. Which is all right. I'm kind of getting hungry, though. While the pizza's warm, could you put some pizza... Or while the oven's warm, could you put some pizza in it? Thank you. You're the greatest. Woo! There we go. 2. Around here, piano teachers can get into trouble. It wasn't so bad when I was teaching art because I had a limit of 5 students at a time and only 3 times a week. Also, has it actually been condemned? Get the details on that decision. It should be public records in the planning department. Okay. That's really good. Gosh, thank you guys. Maybe, oh, we have checked and it's not in a flooding zone, which is fantastic. This is great stuff. Thank you. So I'm starting with that 8mm stylus, and I'm just sculpting out from the center. My God, that was so generous of Joe. I can't believe that. Like, that's, y'all are consistently blowing me away with. I'll eat 2.5 pieces of pizza. Can you do Muppet hands at me with the gloves on? Will you do Muppet hands at me with those gloves on? Thank you. You just came around the corner and why? Like with the. Anyways. So I'm just rubbing this with the 8mm ball stylus. And I'm using this bit of cling wrap, that way it doesn't stick to our situation. And now that I've gotten all of it textured, I'm going to start pulling and pressing a little more firmly. As you can see, this is starting to distort and give it a more frilled natural edge, natural looking perhaps. Any CCRs in that area, covenants, conditions, and restrictions. Okay. Water is a determined little bugger. It would turn out. Isn't it just like, oh my goodness. Y'all brace yourselves. I'm going to eat pizza here in a little bit. So if you think it's super unprofessional and feel the need to leave a comment, please leave a whole bunch of comments. It's very good for our channel's engagement. I mean, no, don't be mean to me in the comments. Okay, we've got that. And now, well, we could flip it over. I'm going to see what effect it does. But do you see how nice and easy that came off of there? I want to try to texture on the other side as well. Just because we can. And if it turns out that it just smushed off all the work that we previously did, well, now I know. Okay, awesome. I'm going to get bib and live vicariously through you. Yes. But also, okay, it has pineapple on it because I'm filthy. I've been a nasty girl. I've been a nasty, nasty girl. I've been a... Oh, and I'm going to put ranch on it. Who's going to match my freak? Oh. Well, there's a little bit of texture there. I feel like that was a worthwhile effort. Oh, don't forget to ask about insurance. Right on. Personal artisanal workshop studios, and if that could be applicable for your home business plans. Okay. That's a good idea, Bodega. User-friendly local realtor to have a visit with. Tell them what you want to do, then ask, what do I need to know? That's very good advice. Anytime. It's nice to pay the teacher with info. Yes! An experienced broker would do best to look for. Be best to look for. Someone who has experience doing these kinds of deals successfully. Gotcha. Hey, Triquetra, how's it going? So I'm just going to put our little bib on this guy's head. And I'm going to press down just a little. And then I'm going to go like... Oh, look at him go. He's such a sweet fellow. I love it. But what we're going to run into is this is going to just fall right down. So what I think I'm going to do is find a little bit of foil. Or like if I had a little silicone something. I'm thinking. I don't think that I could use paper towel. Just little bits of wood would be great. I've got these little wooden beads. I'll just pop those under there. just to keep it lifted. And then I can still use the beads afterwards for something else. So I'm going to turn this upside down and I'm just going to put little beads periodically. I'm just pressing it in just enough that it's going to hold it. That's too many. Oops. So yeah, I'm going to do this one kind of down here. That way it doesn't slide too far down or relax too far. I do like to come through, and I'm kind of just doing a little pinch with my nails. See how that gives it that little bit of character? There we go. I love it. And then we'll be able to just pop those off when it's painted, or whenever it's baked. Alrighty. And I'm going to go put this into the oven. I'm going to leave my microphone here with y'all. And I will be right back.
Yeah.
Alrighty, y'all. Not a nose anymore, a baby ghost, right? So this is how our clay baked down. And I'm pretty pleased with that. And so now we can put, I've lost my lid. There's my lid. Ah! Oh, I'm glad you like them. All these smart people, great advice. No, just but the water. I'm a fake adult, just 2 toddlers in a trench coat. I think we all are. Like, some of us just get more XP than others, but it's like we're all just trudging along, 3 toddlers in a trench coat. Look at that little dapper nugget of a guy. Oh, eating chicken nuggets and chips while watching you join me in eating. Yes. Okay. We haven't finished looking into what the channel points do yet, but we're finding our way. You might also want to ask about fire code and safety restrictions for any hot work in kiln studios. Right on. That's a good idea. Coach says, I got a question for you. So I use grid squares for my setup like you do. I'm curious if you use or have seen anyone use any type of like covering for it. I know they have those plastic solid grid squares you can buy, but I'd have to buy a whole new set of cubes to get those. They don't sell them individually. Basically, I'm trying to make some solid shelves to put crochet pieces on so they don't fall through the cracks, but without a lot of money to do it. We got king size sheets in black. You could get whatever color you want, and I'd cut them up and folded them a bit into, I actually have video of this on my phone. And it just puts a fabric barrier that I use it to wrap some of the displays that I don't want to get like bruised in packing. Let me find the video of our booth. There it is. Nope, that's not. Here it is. Let's see. So we're coming across. You can really see it whenever we get in close. You might be able to see in this angle here. Do you see how we have that fabric? It's just folded and it only comes to about 6 inches of the front, and then the back part we can still see through. That way we can see to the front, but we just have it, and it also keeps the lights from shining up into the faces of people whenever they're looking. So that's what we use for that. Also something that might be super duper cute could be like a whenever you go to like a barbecue or a picnic or something, and there's those like basket, it looks like a basket lid, but it's for putting your paper plate on, but it's like a cute woven little basket, or like a little placemat. You might be able to go to the dollar store and just get some different placemats, and if they have a lip on them, they might be able to keep your crafts from like the crocheted items from like rolling off, or but something like that that you can just kind of fit in there as a stable bottom. My grandparents had this when I was growing up. Right on. But yeah, just something like that, or like a very shallow basket, or even like felted wool or something that might have a little bit more structure to it than just felt fabric. Um, yeah. Yeah, some sheets in the color scheme. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so that's how our lid fits on. And you can see I think it does a great job. And so our hot glue is hot and ready. And so I'm just going to squeeze. And I've let the lid here cool completely, because if I added more hot glue in while the foil and clay were still warm, we would just be waiting all day, I fear, for it to harden up, the hot glue. Now I'm building it up around the sides of the hole that we're going to be sticking the bottle into. There we go. And because, woo! Oh, we had some air bubbles. Scared me. I'm just kind of squishing this in all the way around, but I'm not just globbing it into the center, because that's where the lid is going to be pushing. And I don't want this on very tight, but I don't know. We'll try. Worst case scenario, I can't get the lid back off. And I didn't even pay attention to how I was putting the cap on. This is just going to be how it is. That okay. Ooh, leveled up. Got some purple 12 by 12 paper, which kind of worked, but wasn't as easy as I imagined fabric will be, since fabric drapes and that paper does not. Yeah, and by using like a folded, like I used probably a third of, or half, I don't know, of the king size sheet, because I wanted that full length, but by folding it, it gave it a little bit more stability, as opposed to just one layer of sheet. And it also made it more opaque. I'm not sure if this would apply to your situation. When I was looking for a house, there was a loan option that rolled construction and repair costs into the loan, so it may be worth looking into. Right on. There were very specific conditions, however. Okay. Kay says, are you writing these down? What I'm doing is at 2:35 was whenever I asked the question. And so whenever we rewatch, I'm going to go back and rewatch it to that timestamp, and I'll be writing those things down at that time. So, but by all y'all saying them, it puts them all in one place. So that'll be fantastic. So this is just going to sit here like this for a minute, and I want to let this get completely set up. That way we can then unscrew the bottle and set that off to the side, and I'm going to build up a little bit of like a fringe around the bottle. That way it has a little skirt that like matches. I want it to have a little skirt that matches the little guy that'll be the kind of side room. So in the meantime, we are going to mix up some clay for the door, which I think we might already have a brown blend going. Let me see what's up here. Camera's all in my way. That's okay though. Oh man, how's that pizza coming? Like, do we know how much longer? Did you set a timer? Oh, okay. Then it'll be ready when the timer goes off. Okay. I love pizza too. We tried Domino's. Domino's is getting a little expensive for our blood, but we were exhausted last night and we were like, we'll do it. And we tried their stuffed crust. I liked it. Randy was not impressed, but I loved it because I'll just bite a block of cheese anyhow. Gotcha. That makes sense. Okay, so we have our brown clay that I've just passed through on the thickest setting. And that looks like a pretty good size. We don't have to fill the entire gap, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press that in just enough against the baked clay that when we lift it off, I now have a rough outline of the door. Ooh, we came up with a new Harry Potter house name at Anime St. Louis. Vendor Stank. Because we were like, we got the vendor stank. And that's what house we would be in. Now for the door, it ain't gotta be fancy. We are just gonna be putting a rock border around it, so you don't have to worry about like the edges being perfect or anything. I love to get these frozen French bread pizzas. It reminds me of my childhood. Oh, and they're good at it. Ooh, and the last time we went to the store, we grabbed one and it straight up says pizza on the box, but it was literally just garlic bread. So we ended up having garlic bread and mac and cheese for dinner one night. I mean, I'd eat the got us some garlic bread and mac and cheese, man. I'm just saying. That sounds like delightful. Like, one of my favorite ways to fancy up mac and cheese is to put like a little bit of pesto in it. And then I'm like, we're having Italian. So do it. A little bit more cheese, yeah. Okay. So I'd like to keep this one flat. And I don't have a tile. I gotta clear that tile off. Excuse me, Marcellus. Marcellus Wallace. I love this little feller. I'm just gonna hide you right there. And then we're gonna move some of these over here. I wanted to make some like calla lilies. Whoops. Man, that clay sticks. We'll have to figure it out. I'm making messes. It was good, but I was sad because I wanted pizza. Yeah. My boyfriend brought me my plate and I looked at it and I'm like, something is missing here. I took a bite and I was like, what the is the sauce? No, not the sauce. But yeah, we were making some little glow in the dark calla lilies. So I'll just set that. You know, we'll go ahead and bake it. That way it's not wasted work. Because if I could just keep scooching it around my work surface, that's no good. Okay, so these ones we'll go ahead and set off to the sides. There's that one. Okay, so now I'm going to sculpt the door on this, and that way once we have it the way we like it, we don't have to move it. White cheddar, Cracker Barrel, bougie, or craft dinner. Yeah, when we feel fancy, we'll get the Cracker Barrel mac and cheese. It's good stuff. Okay, so you're going to shape that around. What do y'all think? Do you prefer the earlier in the day live streams, or do you like the later in the day? Like, do you like noon to 3, or do you like 3 to 6? Okay, so I've just done some straight lines in the boards, and I'm gonna I want my wire brush for this. My friend Hannah gave me this really cute little Lowe's bucket. Ooh. 15 minutes. Yeah. It's all gonna get one final bake together at the end. There we go. Normally I would have done some sort of like marbling with like different colors of brown clay, but this is all I have today, so that's okay. And I'm just doing nice long lines with my wire brush tool. Oop, hitting my head on the tripod. As the wild Von do. Ding, fries are done. I prefer later in the day because that's when my brain kicks in best. Right on. Little Sprite says, I've enjoyed listening to you during the day. 3 to 6 is too late for us Euros. Right on. Either they're both great. Right. And it's, I think we might do one time slot on Mondays and then another time slot on Tuesdays. And then, but I don't know because we normally stream on Tuesdays. So, or we normally ship on Tuesdays. So if we're adding in a stream, then we're just going to keep playing it by ear and figuring it out because I don't have to have a plan for next week. I just have to get through this one. So, Triglacher says, oh my God, I saw those tiny buckets online. I need one of those. I like it. It's cute. It's like a miniature 5-gallon bucket. Like, and I like 5-gallon buckets. So, a lot of it's just going to be, I just want to stream more often. And I don't always know when that's going to be. So, it'll be what it is. My house gets the pizza bread, and it's the pepperoni pizza bread, and it's actually pizza. Oh, oh, beautiful man. But yeah, we have some. Oh my God. I was really hot. Ow. Woo. Shh, don't tell me. I'm real hungry. He said from the other room, he's like, you did not just eat that. I can't be trusted. I'm going to go wash my hands so I don't get PolymerClay in my food. Oh, that's good though, but I burnt this out of my tongue. Gotcha, Michelle. 75 degrees. All right on, Saki girl. Gotcha, Rachel. Saki girl says you make my workday go by faster either time. This is good to know. Be an adventure. Fly by the seat of your pants as our ancestors intended, maybe. Right? Well, I was really seeking like structure and stability and consistency, and that served me very well, but I'm ready to embrace the chaos again. Aren't we, big boy? Say yes, mama. We love embracing chaos. It's delightful. You're such a good doggy. Oh, I like dogs now. All right, let me go find like 2 beads and a gear. I'd bring y'all with me, but I do not want to drop a bead tray right now. It's fun. It's like steampunk gear because those are what I like to around, like the front door windows. Well, sometimes I'll get a pit in my stomach that's like nobody's gonna get. I don't know. It probably is condemned. But it's got to be. It's listed up for sale. They've got to let us buy it. Like, just about getting the loan. And I didn't have a shop update this week. quite able to do that. But we do have some items up for sale on the website, so maybe folks will find us. That we keep getting emails from Wix saying that, like, you're not on Google, and it's so I don't know if we need to redo our SEO or like what. Oh, I only have one of that. Banana bread at work. We're definitely doing that for the door. And so whenever I feel that pit in my stomach, I know I just have to be brave and try anyways. That might just be the burning hot pizza that I just swallowed as quickly as I could so that it stopped burning my tongue. All right. I think I'm going to have to find a different. Scooch that over. There we go. Please. So I had these little wire bits that were just the not wire, but like they were like a little charm, and they were just perfect for being like the hinges on a fairy door. I just don't know what trade. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be taking so long. Maybe if I turned a light on. There we go. Gotta put if you want to play saxophone. Did I already look in this bin? I already looked in that bin. Ooh. I don't know if I'm going to be able, I don't know if I'm looking to know what the I've got one more bin to look in. There. It's going to happen for us, you guys. Nope. Boo. Boo and hiss. Now, what are we going to do for hinges now? Let me see. I may be able to just use a gear for the windows as well. I'll be right back in, you guys. Steampunk fairy is my favorite form of fairy stuff. Because a whole lot of it is like, in my imagination, it's like, well, how does the technology work? It's like, I don't know, it's fairies. You just have to, like Captain, like Hook style with Robin Williams, you just have to believe it works, and then it does. So that's how it works, is with fairy magic. So boo. Just grab a couple of gears to choose from. Oh, that's what. Oh, we might name it little side mushroom. Okay, well, I didn't have what I hoped to have for the hinges for the fairy house, but we do have a couple of little gears. Someone went on a fun ride in the name of science, I think. which mushrooms were edible. Your mic is shorting out. Might want to check your audio. Oh, are we? How's that? Noon 2-3 as I get to catch you in time. Gotcha. Well, hello, my love. Yeah, it's just because she's too far away. The mic is fine. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna take this a little farther away from my face while I eat. That way I'm not just like eating in your ears. Okay, gotta wash my hands. I'll be back. Brandy, no. guys, whoop, I'm back. Q&A time. Better, much obliged. Excellent. So what do y'all think of this fairy house so far? I'm excited about it. Ooh, is this one a stuffed crust? It's just wee bitty. Did you split one? Oh, okay. Well, thank you, honey. So good. Okay. I just feel awkward. I'm just gonna keep eating my pizza though. Loving the concept. Excellent. Because I figure even if the school doesn't work out, I'm gonna take my shoes off. Even if the school doesn't work out, I've been wanting to sculpt more and do more art and like watercolor, and I know this because I get frustrated every time that it comes up, and I'm like so agitated that it's like I haven't been taking the time to work on that or pursue it. And so I owe it to myself to get started on that and start working towards. So I'm really happy to be sculpting. We do have this house, like, and we can keep taking some of those seeds of dreams for the school that have sparked in us. We can start now working on developing different sculptural ideas and doing all these different things. So I'm really excited about that. I love the idea of using lace. Like, I love that. Is that brown clay? It's brown clay. This is just a Sculpey blend, but it's hard to tell in the lighting right now. Oh no, did y'all have more flooding again, Jean? This is what I'm going to use for the door. I'm looking for a cutter that'll be the size we use. I've washed my hands. I have to not play with the clay for a little bit while I eat my lunch. Okay, I'll be right back again, you guys. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm back. But I had to go do indecent things to a pizza with my mouth, so I couldn't get that on. I don't need evidence of how I eat on camera. Hmm? I'm gonna use the tree of life as the window in the door. Ooh, and the thing just beeped. So we're just getting the door cut. Ooh, there goes some clay. Up. I'm gonna position the tree. I'm just lining the tree up with the hey, oh, thank you, baby. Before you head upstairs, could you refresh my coffee for me?
Sure.
There you go. Thank you. It looks like he held up well through baking. That's fantastic. Whew, that's hot. I don't know why I just did that. I was petting the mushroom. Don't sniff it, baby. You'll burn. It'll get you. And so I'm just smushing it in a very little bit. And now I'm going to come in and kind of tap out and scrape any little bits of clay. And we can drill them out as well. There we go. And that way just a little bit of light will shine through the door opening, like the little window. And now, let's see, did I put, here we go. I'm going to roll this clay through our pasta machine on the thickest setting, and then I'm going to reduce it down to 2, and then I'm going to reduce it down to 3. And then I'm going to use our cling, our little plastic. You could use like a sandwich baggie or something too. And then I'm going to cut out the center. And then I'm going to use the next cutter size up. It's not quite big enough. Maybe I can use a circle cutter. Hannah says, I'm heading out now, but I hope the mushroom house comes out super cute. Bye, everyone. All right on. Thank you so much, Hannah. Have a great rest of your day. I think we can use this one. But still not quite. Not a whole lot of space around it. That seems to work. Let's use this one. So I'm just lining it up to where I might have had an easier time cutting the large hole, like doing the large line and then setting the center. Oop, there we go. And now we'll take this excess clay away. And we're just going to make this a little bit of like a porthole. All right, I'm moving all these flowers for a minute. And this way we can come through Oh, thank you, honey. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. So we're just going to tap it in. And then we're going to come through. And I'm doing the grain just in a slightly different direction than what the rest of the door was. For no particular reason other than I want to. I think it makes it look like a little porthole. And then we're going to get in there. Clean up any of those edges. Keep it nice and round. Pulling that out. There we go. Then I'm smoothing down this edge. And then we can also make the planks a little more pronounced. There we go. Hey Anika, how's it going? I was born in 88. Jean. Oh, right on. Okay. I think that's looking pretty good. Now, while we're at this, I want to go ahead and just roll up the rest of this brown clay and set it off to the side. And then I'm going to use I have some carbon black Pearl X pigment somewhere. Yeah, here it is. And let's see, I've got a little fluffy brush somewhere, and I'm going to burn myself on the hot glue gun again. Alright, well that one's got holographic powder all over it, so I guess I'll use this one. Just a fluffy headed brush. Oh, Anika says I've made a sterling silver necklace today and feel very proud. How are you? Oh, that's fantastic. I'm doing really well. I'm kind of nervous because it's like I haven't gotten texted back by my friend, and I was supposed to go and hang out with her this evening, like this afternoon. And I figured since I haven't heard back, I'll just keep crafting and live stream. And I hope I'm not like being a workaholic. Okay, and so now I like to start by like the corners. And I'm just going to add in, I'm using the cap as like my palette. And I'm just going to very lightly dusty this door up with a little bit of shading. And I like to use something for this step that's not glittery. Probably doesn't look like much, but it's a very subtle difference that I think adds a lot of nuance and stuff to the piece. And I'm trying to keep it darkest at the edges, so whenever I add more pigment, I just start at the edge and then I work my way in towards the center. Yeah, the house is over here. This is the house so far. Oops. Got some neon clay stuck on me. You a workaholic? Never. Well, I feel like, haha, I'm a workaholic. Not a problem until it's a problem. So, you know, is your friend on kick? No. She is my favorite muggle. She's very creative and stuff herself, but she and I took very different life paths, and it's a blessing to that that I can hang out with her and get to, you know, she married like one of our best friends. So, oh, that worked perfect. Love it. Absolutely perfect. Next time I do this, because I don't want to bake it after I've got the hot glue in there, but next time I do this, I'll put the clay in a little farther, but I think this will be all right. I love that. But she's a friend that we've had for a long time, and like their family. I don't know why I'm like this. I'm just having anxiety out of nowhere. Oh, Anika says you're my favorite workaholic. Oh. well, thank you. I'm just dipping into the jar, blotting in the cap. Woo, that's too much. That's all right though. Oh, I love that. Not too much, just perfect. And I do prefer to use Pearl-Ex as opposed to like eyeshadow or something, just because it does last better out in the elements and exposed to sunlight. The projects where I've used the Pearl-Ex, they maintain their shimmer, or they maintain their color tone a lot better than the ones that I use eyeshadow on. And alcohol inks fade for me too. Some of them do. Just coming through, and I'm doing a very light dusting, so it's giving me a little bit of like a dry brush effect. And if we have anywhere that is too much, we might be able to like sand it off after it's been baked or something. But I kind of love just letting it be however it needs to be. We'd also use probably some rubbing alcohol on a bit of tissue. Bob Ross in the house, right? I would be a hoarder and not put it outside. I'm hoping to take that, being able to take the top off will let us put lights in it. But yeah, we can come through and just kind of blot off a little bit of it. I mean, a very little bit. I'd rather be doing this with like a Q-tip or something, but that'll be fine. Oh man, my face is all like, ooh. I think that's looking pretty good. It could probably do with like a door handle or some hinges or something, but let's see. How's our little guy doing? Still pretty warm, but that's okay. So we could do, and you can see the little, it gave him a case of the mushroom pox. Oh, that one took a little bit of clay with it. But we may be able to put little windows over the eyes. It almost looks like he's wearing glasses. I don't know if I want to do that yet. I'm worried that I didn't bake them long enough, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know that I am going to be baking. I mean, if I do, yeah, I'm probably going to be baking them again. Okay, that'll be all right. You would take your fairy hoses to your vending events. We haven't, just because we haven't, I don't know how I'd display them, and I don't know where I'd fit them in the van. And we also haven't been cleared for sculptures at Dragon Con. but that's the only things keeping us from doing it. So oop, okay, I gotta go. We are going to see our friends. I just heard back, so I will. I'm gonna go like a shower so I don't have the vendor stank. But thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us today. And if you have any questions or anything, leave them down in the comments. We're gonna go hang out with our friends and see their baby, and just have a good time. So. Have fun. Thanks for streaming today. Oh, 100%. We'll be streaming again on Friday. My hopes is that we will have May's craft along project ready for you on, if not on Thursday, then on Friday. So just keep an eye out for notifications, and we always send out an email, or we try to. So I will see y'all either in Thursday's tutorial or in Friday's live stream, which will likely be from 3 to 6, though we may go a little later just because, and we'll be working on this project. So happy crafting, you guys. Mwah. Bye. I gotta go over here and click stuff. So, oh gosh, also, I can only really sit for like 3 hours at a time before I'm rickety wrecked. Let's see. Randy told me how to do this. So I click this over here, and I click that over there. Oh no, I didn't mean to click that. His mouse is like super sensitive. Okay, so there's that, and then we can click this, and then, ooh, let's go raid Metz glass. Okay, happy crafting, everybody. Bye bye. And then, wait, oh, I gotta make it big.